Hey, you guys, it has been a while since I have done a recap, whatever you want to call this, a recap on previous week, and then a kind of a prequel roll. I'm making up words here on the upcoming week. What are some of the things that we want to know that are going to be happening this week? What are some of the things that we need to be aware of? Is it going to be a high volatility week? Is it going to be a low volatility week? Is it going to be similar to what we had the previous week? We're going to cover all that right now. So let's get rolling. If we roll over here, we're going to take a look first at the ES 09, so the September 2023 contract here. And this is a 65-minute chart. The green and blue zones are going to be fair value gaps or liquidity zones. Red zones are obviously going to be other liquidity imbalances. And we have equivolume candles, meaning that these candles are thicker based upon the amount of volume that's inside of them. Again, all of these things are available on NinjaTrader. This is the platform that we're on right here. So one of the things you can see over the last several weeks is that we were kind of, if you zoom out, in a solid range right up in here. We had made highs, all the way back in early July. We came down, tested support, got this nice rip up. We created an imbalance zone down here right around 4,500. And in that zone, that was kind of where we just continued this bull trend up. And then really since then, basically ever since about July 20th, we've been in a range. We've been kind of stuck in a upper zone range, so to speak. The ES hasn't really been doing a whole bunch. It's really been supported by the NASDAQ, and that's been really supported by a lot of these, the tech sector and everything. So NASDAQ has really rallied and done well. The NASDAQ rallying has obviously impacted the S&P 500 as well. Let's get back to the right chart. There we go. But overall, we finally broke down. I knew this zone was going to be a zone that we were going to need to fill eventually. I've been saying this for probably about 2 weeks now. Once we got this breakdown and this touch previously, again, this going back to Wednesday, it was like, okay, these blue imbalances needed to be broken through. We did. We broke through them fairly strong, in a fairly strong way. And then we came down Thursday, we tested this zone, we bought it back up, it held, we pulled back, and then we tested this very key support here at 45.60. So 45.60 obviously has been a good support. Previous, it was a strong, kind of a little bit of a resistance here going back to, again, mid-July. We got that strong bullish breakthrough, and we retested, held, pushed up, tested, bounced, and then obviously we're breaking through, and now we've confirmed that it is resistance. It's no longer support. In this week, when we're looking at the technical side, what are some of the things I'm looking at? Well, we do have an imbalance zone. We do have a fair value gap that needs to be filled, all the way up here. I'm not super worried about this though. I'm not really worried about us needing to retrace all the way up here. If we do need to break down to the downside, it's not like we have to come back up here to get filled. We've already seen us make highs, pull back, touch that high again, pull back, make higher highs, right? And then have a strong sell to the downside. And then we made lower highs. So in terms of like the chart, what we need to do from a volume and liquidity standpoint, there's no major imbalances that need to be filled. And that's important because that is what really dictates whether we need to retrace to the upside or whether we need to retrace to the downside. So when we look at things and we look at where we are currently at, sure, we have this zone, and this week I would bet pretty much everything I got, we're going to retrace into this zone. Although, again, this zone doesn't have this major imbalance, right? We've seen strong volume coming down into this 45-40 range. We've seen strong volume right here in this 45-25 range. We've seen strong volume. I mean, there's no weak volume like where orders are getting trapped. Everything is fairly balanced. So if I'm going into this week, what is the one word I'm going to use? It's going to be balanced. We're balanced. We could easily see some move to the upside. We could easily see some move to the downside. Although to get some strong pushes down, we're going to need to see some sort of catalyst. And if we talk about catalysts, switching over here to some of the important things like the economic calendar, we don't really have a lot in terms of economic news that's coming out this week. We have core inflation coming out month over month, and TradingView is great that it lists all this stuff. You can even add these events to your calendar. This is going to be occurring August 10th, and that is at 5:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, or Pacific Standard, whatever you want to call it. And then we have the inflation rate month over month. We have PPI at month over month. And again, if you don't know what these things are, what's great on TradingView is it does say it's producer price inflation. So it gives a good synopsis of what these things are, what's expected. So this is a nice little tool. There's several good tools out there for that, but this is all that we have kind of coming up, and this is in the latter half of the week. These are the important ones. We have some other stuff I don't want to talk about and bore you, but that's really it. We have nothing coming up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week. In terms of earnings, this is for the week of August 7th again, that is this week. We don't have anything major, any major companies reporting earnings. We've gotten through most of the big, large mega cap companies. Palantir is one that I'm really going to be paying attention to. Lucid will be interesting, obviously. Chegg really got beat down last quarter on earnings due to the whole AI buzz and AI craze. So we will really be interested to see kind of how Chegg plays out with that. Paramount is going to be an interesting one just because of the whole the whole Yellowstone series. Taylor Sheridan, if you know anything about that, it's kind of interesting. That will kind of potentially play somewhat of a role with Paramount earnings. And the list can go on. I mean, there's still a lot of large mega cap companies out there that are reporting earnings. I mean, we have Disney, right? We have Sony. We're not talking like no big companies. We're just talking some of the big tech. Those have already reported earnings. And if we go back here on, kind of what everyone else is talking about, Earnings Whisper said the same thing. There's, it's a slight deceleration in earnings this week, but over 1,000 companies are still slated to report their earnings this week. So we have a lot of interesting things that are coming up. Hopefully this was helpful. I don't plan on seeing anything wild and crazy. Obviously, with Apex doing their 90% off sale this week, it's going to make it a little bit dicey because we have a lot of people that are going to be wanting and needing to get some big moves in order to pass some of their Apex accounts in the futures market. My approach is going to be using a lot of different instruments and using kind of that non-correlated asset strategy that I trade all the time. I'm not great at just YOLOing my evaluation accounts or anything like that. Some people are. I don't think this week is going to be really great for that. So what you're really going to have to do is be diligent, kind of ride it out. And if we do get a break, take full advantage of that. So if you have any other questions, if you are in my free Discord group, great. If not, there should be a link down below. I post a lot of stuff every day in the free section. If you're interested in what I offer in the live section, I give key price levels, KPLs, daily in the premium group for 13 different instruments. In YMI Live, I do it 3 days a week. There's a lot of great content. We do long-term investments and all that good stuff. Check it out if you're curious, or feel free to DM me on Discord or even leave a comment down below, and I'd be more than happy to help you out. Great week coming up. I'm excited. People are going to start getting more back into the flow of coming off of vacations and that kind of thing as we wrap up and kind of get into more the middle of August. Some colleges start to go back to school here, in August 20th, something mid-August, which is crazy. So that fall routine, unfortunately, is starting to kick in, come up. So yeah, that's everything. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye.